I stood in front of my bathroom mirror, practicing my smile for the 1,000th time. "You look beautiful, Maya," I whispered to my reflection, but the words felt hollow. My wedding was 3 weeks away, and I should have been ecstatic. Instead, I felt like I was suffocating in the life I'd carefully constructed. Derek had texted me that morning. "Don't forget we're meeting the Hendersons tonight. Wear the navy dress, not the red one. You know how important this dinner is for my career." I deleted the red dress from my mental options immediately. That's what love looked like now: constant adjustment, endless accommodation. My phone buzzed with a message from Jenna. "Bachelorette party this Saturday. No excuses, no Derek interference. You're mine for one night." I smiled genuinely for the first time that day. Jenna had been my best friend since our freshman dorm room. Back when I used to dance on tables and laugh until my stomach hurt. Back when I was actually me. Derek walked into the bathroom, already wearing his expensive suit. "You're not ready yet?" His tone carried that familiar edge of disappointment. "The Hendersons hate tardiness, Maya. This reflects on me." I nodded quickly, reaching for the navy dress hanging on the closet door. "I'm sorry. I'll be ready in 5 minutes." He sighed, checking his Rolex. "Make it 3. The bass pounded through my chest as Jenna pulled me onto the crowded dance floor. "Tonight, you're not Derek's fiancé," she shouted over the music. "Tonight, you're my Maya." Sophie laughed beside us, already 3 cocktails deep. The club lights painted everything in electric blues and purples, and for the first time in 3 years, I felt like I could breathe. Jenna had invited 8 other women, some I barely knew, but everyone seemed determined to celebrate me. "To Maya!" they screamed, raising luminous drinks that probably cost more than my monthly gym membership. "To Maya," I echoed, downing something sweet and dangerously strong. 2 hours later, I was dancing. Really dancing, not the polite swaying Derek approved of at charity galas, but wild, uninhibited movement. A group of guys near the DJ booth were laughing and cheering, and somehow, I ended up dancing near them. One of them, tall with kind eyes and a camera around his neck, smiled at me. "You've got serious moves," he shouted. "I'm Tyler. I'm getting married," I shouted back, giggling uncontrollably. "Congratulations," he laughed. "Your future husband is a lucky guy." The music shifted to something with a heavy beat, and I lost myself completely. I could feel Jenna recording on her phone, capturing my joy, my freedom, my resurrection. I climbed onto a small platform near the bar. When had I become this brave? And danced like nobody was watching. Except everyone was watching, including Tyler, who was now photographing the whole club scene. "You're amazing," Sophie yelled, tears of laughter streaming down her face. In that moment, spinning under those lights with my friends cheering, I felt more alive than I had in 1,000 carefully orchestrated dinners with Derek's colleagues. "This is me," I screamed to no one and everyone. "This is who I am." The night blurred into a beautiful chaos of laughter, dancing, and bonding with strangers who felt like instant friends. Tyler and his friends bought our group a round of shots. "To the bride," Tyler toasted, and something about his genuine warmth made me feel seen in a way Derek never managed. At 2 a.m., Jenna poured me into an Uber. "Best night ever?" she asked. "Best night ever," I confirmed, already half asleep. I didn't see her post the videos to our private friend group. I didn't know someone would screenshot them and send them to Derek. I just fell asleep, smiling, feeling like myself again. I woke up to 37 missed calls. My head pounded like a construction site, and my mouth tasted like regret and tequila. "What the hell?" I mumbled, scrolling through the notifications. Derek's name dominated the screen. My stomach dropped before I even understood why. The latest text read, "Call me, now." My hands shook as I dialed. He answered on the first ring. "I can't believe you." His voice was ice cold. "What are you talking about?" My hangover made thinking difficult. "Check your messages, Maya." I switched to my group chat, and my blood went cold. There I was, pixelated and wild, dancing on that platform. There I was, laughing with Tyler and his friends. There I was, completely free and completely unaware I was being filmed from multiple angles. "Derek? I can explain." "Explain?" He laughed bitterly. "Explain how my fiancé made a complete fool of herself? How you're grinding on random men in some trashy club? How everyone in my office has now seen this? I wasn't grinding on anyone." My voice cracked. "I was just dancing. It was my bachelorette party." "You're pathetic," he said, and those words hit me like a physical blow. "You're an embarrassment. To me, to yourself, to both our families. Tears streamed down my face as I tried to defend myself. Derek, please. I just wanted one night to have fun with my friends. I didn't do anything wrong. You made me look like an idiot, he interrupted. My colleagues are laughing at me. The Hendersons saw the video. Do you understand what you've done to my reputation? Your reputation? Something flickered inside me, anger trying to push through the shame. What about how I feel? How you feel? His voice rose to a shout. You should feel ashamed. You should feel disgusted with yourself. I've spent 3 years trying to make you into someone respectable, and you throw it all away for one night of acting like a college dropout. The words kept coming, each one a knife. I want you to sign papers canceling the wedding, he finally said. I'm not marrying someone who can't control themselves. Someone who makes me a laughingstock. Derek, please, I was sobbing now, begging. We can work through this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You should be, he said coldly. I'll have my lawyer draw up the papers. Don't contact me until you're ready to sign them and apologize properly. He hung up. I sat on my bedroom floor, surrounded by the remnants of last night's joy, and cried until I couldn't breathe. For 3 days, I didn't leave my apartment. I ignored Jenna's calls, Sophie's worried texts, even my brother Marcus's increasingly aggressive messages demanding to know what happened. I just lay in bed replaying Derek's words. Pathetic, embarrassing, disgraceful. Maybe he was right. Maybe I had thrown away the best thing in my life for one stupid night of irresponsibility. I drafted 17 different apology texts, each more desperate than the last. Derek, please forgive me. I'll never drink again. I'll be better. I'll be the woman you deserve. I never sent any of them. His social media had gone silent. He'd even untagged himself from all our couple photos. On day 4, Grandma Rose showed up at my door with homemade soup and her particular brand of no-nonsense love. Maya Elizabeth Thompson, open this door right now, she commanded. I let her in, looking like a disaster in my 3-day-old pajamas. She took one look at me and pulled me into her arms. Baby girl, what did that boy do to you? Through sobs, I told her everything, the video, Derek's words, the canceled wedding, my shame. She listened silently, her hand stroking my hair like she did when I was little. When I finished, she pulled back and looked me dead in the eye. Now you listen to me, she said firmly. Any man who calls you pathetic for dancing and having fun with your friends isn't a man worth marrying. But Grandma, I embarrassed him in front of his colleagues. He embarrassed himself by caring more about his reputation than your happiness, she interrupted. Maya, I've watched you disappear over these 3 years. The granddaughter who used to paint murals and sing karaoke and laugh until she snorted, where did she go? Fresh tears spilled down my cheeks. I had to grow up. I had to become someone worthy of Derek. Worthy? Grandma Rose's voice sharpened. You were always worthy. He made you small so he could feel big. Her words cracked something open inside me. No, baby, she said sadly. You love who you've been pretending to be for him. That's not the same thing. Jenna arrived an hour after Grandma Rose left, armed with ice cream and righteous fury. I'm going to murder him, she announced, dropping grocery bags filled with comfort food onto my counter. Slowly and creatively. Jenna, no, she cut me off. You don't get to defend him. Not after what he said to you. Sophie was right behind her, carrying my favorite Thai takeout. We're staging an intervention, Sophie said quietly. Because you need to hear some things you're not going to like. They sat me down and started talking. Jenna went first. Derek has always been controlling. Remember when he made you quit the community theater because it was unprofessional? Or when he suggested you stop wearing bright colors because they were attention-seeking? Sophie continued. He monitors your social media. He approves your outfits. He dictates who you can be friends with. He literally told you I was too timid to be useful for networking. I wanted to argue, but the truth was undeniable. He isolated you from everyone who actually loved you, Jenna said, her eyes fierce. And the second you showed a glimpse of your real personality, he destroyed you for it. But the video, was you having fun? Sophie interrupted. You weren't kissing anyone. You weren't doing anything inappropriate. You were dancing. That's literally what bachelorette parties are for. Jenna pulled out her phone. I need to show you something. She pulled up Instagram and navigated to an account I didn't recognize. This is Vanessa Park, Derek's colleague. The photos showed a beautiful woman in her 30s, professionally dressed in most shots. But as Jenna scrolled, my stomach twisted. There Derek and Vanessa at a restaurant, sitting too close. Another photo them at a bar, his hand on her waist. These are from the last 4 months, Jenna said gently. Rachel sent them to me. Rachel? Derek's sister? She felt guilty, Sophie explained. She said Derek's been seeing Vanessa since February. She wanted to tell you sooner, but Derek threatened to cut her off financially if she interfered. I felt like the room was tilting. He's cheating on me? He's been cheating on you? Jenna confirmed, while simultaneously making you feel guilty for every tiny thing you did. While policing your behavior and calling you pathetic for one night of innocent fun, the pieces clicked together with sickening clarity. The late-night work meetings, the password-protected phone, the way he'd grown distant but more controlling simultaneously. He was projecting, I whispered. All those accusations about me being inappropriate were covering his own guilt, Sophie finished. Maya, he's a narcissist. He needed you to feel worthless so you wouldn't question him or leave. Rage bloomed in my chest. Hot and cleansing. Where's Rachel now? I want to talk to her. Jenna smiled grimly. I thought you'd say that. She's waiting at the coffee shop downstairs. Rachel looked miserable, her hands wrapped around a cooling latte. I'm so sorry, Maya, she said immediately. I should have told you months ago. I'm a coward. I sat down across from her, and surprisingly, I felt calm. Tell me everything. Rachel detailed Derek's affair, the expensive gifts he'd bought Vanessa, the weekend business trips that were actually romantic getaways. The way he'd laughed about me to his colleagues. He called you his project, Rachel said, tears in her eyes. And I needed his help with law school tuition. I understand, I said, and I meant it. But I need you to do something for me now. I spent the next week transforming. Not into Derek's version of acceptable, but into myself, the self I'd buried. I dyed my hair back to the auburn color I'd loved before. Derek said it was too bold. I bought clothes in colors that made me happy: reds, yellows, electric blues. I called my old theater group and auditioned for their new production. I got the lead role. Marcus came over to check on me, ready to fight. Want me to pay Derek a visit? My brother asked, cracking his knuckles theatrically. I've got some choice words for him. No, I said, surprising myself with my certainty. I'm done letting Derek control any part of my life, including how he exits it. I drafted one final message to Derek. I'm not signing any papers apologizing for being myself. If you want to cancel our wedding because I danced at my bachelorette party, that says everything about you and nothing about me. Also, I know about Vanessa. I hope she enjoys dating someone who'll eventually make her feel as small as he made me feel. I'm done. I hit send before I could second-guess myself. His response came within minutes. You're making a huge mistake. You'll never find anyone better than me. You're going to regret this for the rest of your pathetic life. I blocked his number. Then I blocked him on every social media platform. Then I boxed up every gift he'd ever given me, every photo of us together, every reminder of who I'd tried to be for him. Jenna helped me haul the boxes to a donation center. How do you feel? She asked as we watched a volunteer carry away 3 years of my life. Free, I said, and meant it. I feel free. I didn't seek revenge against Derek. I didn't have to. The universe had its own plans. It started 3 weeks after our breakup, when my phone buzzed with a text from Rachel. You need to see this. She'd attached a link to a local news article. Prominent attorney under investigation for embezzlement. My heart raced as I read. Derek's law firm had discovered financial irregularities in client trust accounts, money missing, falsified documents, a pattern of theft spanning 18 months. They found over $200,000 missing. Rachel texted. Derek's been funding his lifestyle and Vanessa's gifts by stealing from clients. Craig Henderson is furious. The article mentioned that Derek had been placed on immediate administrative leave while the investigation continued. I should have felt vindicated. But instead, I felt sad that I'd almost married someone capable of such betrayal. The second blow came days later when Vanessa's husband, A. Detail, Derek had conveniently never mentioned to me, posted a scathing exposé on social media. My wife has been having an affair with Derek Sullivan, a lawyer at Henderson and Associates. He knew she was married. He didn't care. He destroyed my family. The post went viral in legal circles. Derek's reputation, which he'd valued more than our relationship, was crumbling spectacularly. Sophie forwarded me screenshots from Derek's colleagues' group chat. One of them was her cousin. He's freaking out, she texted, blaming everyone but himself. Says you jinxed him by refusing to apologize. The irony wasn't lost on me. Jenna threw a Maya's liberation party at her apartment. To karma, we toasted, laughing. To karma. Tyler showed up apparently. He and Jenna had stayed in touch, and she'd invited him. I heard about your ex, he said carefully. You doing okay? Better than okay, I told him honestly. I dodged a massive bullet. His loss, Tyler said, and something about the way he looked at me made my heart flutter unexpectedly. The third blow was the most satisfying. Rachel called, barely able to contain her excitement. The wedding venue is suing Derek for breach of contract. He told them, "You canceled," but they have emails proving HE demanded the cancellation. He's on the hook for the entire $35,000 deposit. Wow, I breathed. And there's more, Rachel continued. Mom and Dad found out about Vanessa and the embezzlement. They've cut him off financially. He's been living beyond his means for years on their money and stolen client funds. He's basically broke now, Maya, and completely alone. I should have felt triumphant. Instead, I felt nothing. Derek no longer had power over my emotions. While Derek's life imploded, mine blossomed. I quit my suffocating marketing job and used my savings to start a small consulting business helping nonprofits with their digital presence. My first client was the community theater that had welcomed me back. Grandma Rose invested in my business, calling it the smartest investment I'll ever make. Within 2 months, I had 5 clients and a waiting list. I was working harder than ever, but I was happy, genuinely, deeply happy. The kind of happiness that comes from building something authentic rather than maintaining something performative. Tyler and I started meeting for coffee casual at first, then increasingly intentional. Full disclosure, he said during our 5th coffee date. I think you're incredible, but I know you're healing from a bad relationship, so no pressure. I'm happy to just be your friend. What if I want more than friendship? I asked, surprising myself. His smile was sunshine. Then I'm the luckiest guy alive. We took things slowly. He came to my theater performances, cheering louder than anyone in the audience. I attended his photography exhibitions, marveling at how he captured moments of genuine human joy. He never tried to change me, control me, or diminish me. He celebrated every weird, wild, authentic part of who I was. Amanda Price, a successful entrepreneur I'd met through networking, became my mentor. You've got something special, Maya, she told me over lunch. You understand authenticity in a world obsessed with performance. That's valuable. She introduced me to investors, taught me business strategy, and became another anchor in my growing support system. Sophie got promoted and gained newfound confidence, crediting my example for inspiring her own transformation. Watching you reclaim yourself made me realize I was shrinking too, she admitted. So I asked for the raise, the title, and the respect I deserved. And I got them. Marcus started dating Jenna, a development that shocked and delighted me. Your best friend and my brother? I teased Jenna. That's either brilliant or disastrous. It's brilliant, she said firmly. He's nothing like Derek. He actually likes who I am. Grandma Rose's health scare reminded me that life was precious and short. Don't waste it on people who make you small, she whispered from her hospital bed. Promise me, Maya. I promise, I said, holding her hand. I promise. 6 months after our breakup, Derek showed up at my apartment unannounced. I barely recognized him, expensive suit replaced with wrinkled khakis, designer watch gone, the arrogant confidence deflated into desperation. Maya, please, I need to talk to you. My first instinct was to slam the door. My second instinct was to hear him out, not for him, but for me. For closure. You have 5 minutes, I said, not inviting him inside. He launched into an apology that sounded rehearsed, probably crafted with some therapist he could no longer afford. I was wrong about everything. You weren't pathetic. I was projecting my own insecurity and guilt. You deserved better than how I treated you. Yes, I did, I said simply. Maya, I've lost everything. His voice cracked. My job, my reputation, my family's respect. Vanessa left me the second things got difficult. I have nothing. He looked at me with desperate hope, but I realized through all of this that you were the only real thing in my life. The only person who genuinely loved me. I loved who I thought you were. I corrected. I loved a man who didn't actually exist. I can be better, he pleaded. I'm in therapy now. I'm working on myself. I understand what I did wrong. Please, Maya, give me another chance. We can start over. We can... No, I said firmly, and the word felt powerful. Derek, I don't hate you, but I don't love you anymore either. You're a stranger to me now, but we were going to get married. We were going to get married because I had convinced myself that shrinking was the same as growing up. I interrupted. Because I believed your version of me was better than my authentic self. But I know better now. His face twisted with anger, the Derek I remembered surfacing briefly. So, you're just going to throw away 3 years? You're going to walk away like I meant nothing? You taught me what I don't want, I said calmly. That's worth something. Tyler appeared at the top of the stairwell, carrying coffee and pastries. We had plans to work on a creative project together. Everything okay? He asked carefully, assessing the situation. Derek looked between us, realization dawning. You're dating the guy from the video? The stranger from the club? I'm dating a man who respects me, I said. There's a difference. Derek left without another word, shoulders slumped in defeat. I watched him go and felt nothing. No satisfaction, no regret, no lingering attachment, just gratitude that I'd escaped. 1 year after the bachelorette party that changed my life, Jenna threw another party, this time to celebrate my business's 1-year anniversary. The same friends who'd been there for my darkest moment now celebrated my brightest. Sophie gave a toast to Maya, who showed us all that rock bottom is actually a solid foundation for rebuilding. To Maya, everyone chorused, raising their glasses. I looked around the room at Grandma Rose laughing with Amanda, at Marcus and Jenna dancing terribly, at Tyler photographing everyone's joy, at Rachel, who'd become a genuine friend, chatting with my theater group. This was my chosen family, my real life. Speech, Jenna demanded, and everyone turned to me expectantly. I stood, heart full. A year ago, I thought my life was ending. I thought losing Derek meant losing everything. But actually, losing Derek meant finding myself. My voice strengthened. I learned that the right people will love you not despite your quirks, but because of them. That dancing at your bachelorette party isn't pathetic, it's liberation. That being called an embarrassment by someone who doesn't deserve you is actually a blessing. Tyler squeezed my hand, and I smiled at him. I learned that love shouldn't make you smaller. It should help you expand into your full, authentic, glorious self, Amanda shouted, and that a woman who bets on herself never loses. Exactly. I laughed, tears streaming down my face, happy tears this time. So thank you. Thank you for not letting me disappear. Thank you for reminding me who I was and helping me become who I'm meant to be. The party lasted until 2 a.m., echoing that night a year ago, but this time, I wasn't escaping my life. I was celebrating it. Later, Tyler and I walked home under city lights. Do you ever regret it? He asked. The breakup? The chaos? I thought carefully. I regret wasting 3 years on someone who didn't value me. But I don't regret how it ended. That night of dancing? That was me breaking free. That was the beginning of everything good. We stopped at a street performer playing saxophone, and spontaneously, I started dancing, not wildly like that night at the club, but freely, unselfconsciously. Tyler joined me, laughing. Strangers passing by smiled at us, and someone even tossed money into the saxophonist's case. This is who I am, I said, spinning under the streetlights. Someone who dances, someone who lives out loud, someone who refuses to be pathetic for being joyful. I know, Tyler said, pulling me close. And for the first time in my life, being loved felt like freedom instead of a cage. I had danced with strangers and lost a fiancé who called me pathetic, but in the wreckage, I'd found something infinitely more valuable. Myself. And that, I realized as Tyler kissed me under those city lights, was the happiest ending I could have asked for.